What's up, BEATNIKERS? Welcome back to my channel once again. If you're new here, consider subscribing because I feel that my goal is to bring in the most delicious thinking and enhance your intellect to escape velocity. Let's start today's day. Just came out of U-Bahn, running out of breath. So I'm in the east side of the city. Today's video is super interesting. So I am getting an opportunity. Shout out to Juliana for connecting me with Manan, who's the director of marketing for Truecaller. My college days, I remember when I was in 11th or 12th grade, Truecaller was an app which everybody used to have. Now, if you're someone who doesn't know what Truecaller ID app was, it used to identify unknown numbers if you haven't saved them in your mobile phones. To keep it simple, I'm gonna meet Manan, who's the director of marketing. Excited to talk with him about marketing industry, his journey and get some inspiration from him. So that's the whole video about. Alright guys, so I'm sitting here with Mr. Manan Shah. Sir, welcome to my channel.
Thank you.
Just to quickly walk my memory with Truecaller, the company what you work with. I told this in my introduction part also that when I was in my 11th and 12th grade, this was the most happening app to have in the phone.
It still is.
Oh, yeah. That's the brand ambassador. Bam. Manan, why don't you just walk us through who don't know about Truecaller, or who are you basically?
Truecaller is a company that's a Swedish organization that started in 2009, based on a very simple idea to help people identify unknown calls. It was based on a very real life experience that our co-founders had.
Right.
After they finished college, and some of their friends who were in college, they moved out and went to other countries, back to their home countries, or even people who were relatives, who were living in other countries when they were calling. It was very difficult for them to understand whether it's an important call to pick or not. They basically came up with this idea of creating a global directory of sort.
Yeah.
Looking at different ways in which how you can create a community, a platform where people are helping each other identify unknown numbers. They started it off as a project, and they posted small file, like a project that they had created on one of these websites, because at that time there were no app stores. Yeah. They got phenomenal response on the project that they'd created, and they realized that this is probably something that they definitely want to see it through. Then they just gave up their existing jobs, came together, and have been full-time working on the app till almost a couple of years back. Not even couple of years, till last year, most of the code that was there in Truecaller was the original code that they had written at that time. But it obviously needed a lot more revamp. But yeah, I mean, that's like a short story about Truecaller. I have been with Truecaller since September of 2016. It's been a little over 2 years now for me, and I take care of all the marketing activities. I head all the marketing activities in India and the neighboring countries, as they call it, the SAARC region. Yeah. So yeah, that's a bit about what I do at Truecaller.
Correct me if I'm wrong. When you were working for contract advertising before this, Truecaller was the client of this company.
Yeah.
And how did the switch came from a client and handling the big position in a company? So
Truecaller was a client at contract, and I was heading that business in contract. We were working on this one project that Truecaller had given us, where they wanted to look at a way in which they can further penetrate and further grow into the Indian market, especially smaller town India. Yeah. And we created a brilliant campaign around it. It was primarily a television campaign that my team and we worked on it, and with Nawazuddin, and that campaign really worked well for them. They went from around 70 million users before the campaign to 100 plus users within a few 4 or 5 months or so. And I think that campaign did so well that they probably decided to hire me. Get this guy. Yeah. No, but to be honest, it was just great. It was a great campaign, and obviously I probably had really good fortunes that I was able to make that switch to this side of the table.
You have over 14 years of experience in marketing industry. Yeah. For youngsters who are thinking of doing MBA, MBA in marketing and business, this has become a really big thing now. What's in store for those students who are watching me, thinking that one day I'm going to be probably sitting at this position or probably higher? Where is marketing industry going right now? Where do you see it?
There's frankly a lot of stuff that you can do within marketing. Like marketing is a huge field out there. When I finished my graduation, I was working with a company at that time. I had been almost a year or so into the job. I was like so I'm by the way, I'm a science graduate.
Okay.
I did my graduation in electronics and digital communications. And yeah, basis that I got placed, through the campus interviews, I got placed at this company called Reliance.
Oh, yeah.
And I was working with them for some time, and then I was generally having a chat with my boss one day, and he's like, it's good that you're a graduate, but what are you planned for the future?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's a very difficult question to answer. For me, at least, most of the times, it's very difficult to answer. Like,
Yeah.
what do you plan to do? But I knew one thing that I was good at, and I realized that that is definitely, advertising and marketing, and that's something that's been always, something that I've been passionate about. And I realized during that conversation that he's basically asking me that there should be something more that you should do. You should definitely look at creating a path for yourself.
Yeah.
And interestingly, I started working with the tech team in the engineering team at Reliance, but I got very quickly bored of it, and I was like, this is probably not for me. And then I switched into the marketing team over there itself. And after that, I just decided to pursue further education. I can tell you for a fact that you need to have a knack for marketing. Any sort of education is not going to give you that. They will create a foundation for you to think in a certain direction, but eventually you need to have a knack for it. And this, like I said, there's a lot that you can do in marketing. There is digital marketing, there is branding, there is events, there's a lot of stuff outdoors. All of these are growing fields, and obviously digital marketing is the buzzword right now, but there is a lot more. You just need to create your own niche and be the best at it. We are limited on time. He's here for an event. I'm just going to ask you last question. You also teach university students in India in a part-time, on weekends basically. What is your advice before, this is the last question by the way, what's your advice for youngsters who want to get into marketing, who are still thinking or who are already working and not being able to reach that height? What's your advice to them? If I put it in a simple one phrase, it's find your niche. Don't get into the rat race. Don't go with the flow. Find something that you're good at. Find something that you're interested in. Find something that you believe you can make a big difference in, and go for it. Marketing is so huge a field, but find your niche. Like even the advice that I got is, go and do an MBA marketing, and I'm like, there are 80,000 students who came out of MBA marketing the year I was planning to do it. Are there 80,000 jobs for the same kind of specialization for these people? I don't think so. Which is why I did not do a regular course in marketing. It is marketing that I've studied, but I've gone deeper into it, and I've created I went into a niche field like advertising, and I specialize in brand marketing, brand management, because that is what I felt I was good at, and I think I've made some sort of a mark. For sure. Okay. Thanks a lot, man, for being on my channel, and I'm sure you guys took some valuable, solid advice, and probably I look forward to meet you once I'm in India somewhere. Welcome. Or in Europe next time for sure.